But we'll take maybe 2 or 3 questions, and then we will proceed to the reception. Randy.
So Neil, the computer scientist in me wants to classify disease causation as viral, bacterial, now mechanical, and other. In the mechanical diseases of your kind, where you're worried about shapes of proteins determine binding and how they work, how do you search that space of the old-fashioned drug design doesn't work anymore? How do you gather the data and search the space in your lab to confirm candidates that are possibly those candidates to isolate and reduce the impact of the folding or the misfolding?
Okay, well, so you planted him as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So I only have an hour, is that right? So
Did I say an hour?
It was quite a road. In the beginning, we used to stare at the structures, which are published on the PDB and other places in the scientific literature, and make a guess or make, hypotheses about what regions of proteins would be exposed when the protein was misfolded in disease. For example, superoxide dismutase 1, I made a guess that there were 8 regions which could serve as misfolding-specific epitopes in the protein. 4 of those were validated, which isn't an incredibly bad rate. But now I'm working with a computer scientist named Steve Plotkin at UBC, and we've developed an algorithm to be able to predict regions of proteins which are least stabilized. In other words, going from stable to unstable, the free energy required to turn a region of a protein into a free unstructured peptide against which we can raise antibodies and test that hypothesis if they react with the misfolded protein. Using this computer algorithm, we've never come up with a dud. So this is a very powerful way of predicting misfolding specific epitopes of proteins.
Wonderful answer.
Thank you.
And a question here.
Yes, hi. I was wondering, you've studied prion-like diseases in the brain. Have you looked at other organs in the body, like the heart, liver, that might have prion-like diseases? Is that a possibility?
So that is possible. There is, on the universe slide of protein misfolding, there were 2 systemic diseases, including type 2 diabetes, in which there's an amyloid which accumulates from a protein called amylin. But this has been shown to propagate, at least in vitro and in vivo. It spreads via a prion-like mechanism. Another disease which is systemic is due to transthyretin. This produces a heart disease or a liver disease or a neuropathy, and this propagates via protein misfolding propagated prion-like mechanisms as well. There are immunotherapies underway for both of those diseases, type 2 diabetes and this amyloidosis caused by transthyretin.
Okay, have you got a microphone? I can't see.
No, I'm fine like that. Andrei Kovalenko, good morning. I have a short comment to Neil's response to...
Yeah.
I think you hear me, right?
No, we need you to be on the mic.
I have a short comment to supplement to Neil's response to Reddy Gable's question. How to address this mechanical search problem, because it involves dense, condensed media. It's not just free energy, it's not just mechanics, it's statistical mechanics. And in this combination, we have new approach to this problem to do this faster. Thank you.
So I completely, utterly agree. I wasn't sure if anyone read about statistical mechanics with their breakfast cereal today, but this is
We were more concerned about the lack of prebiotic fiber in our breakfast. This will be the last question, but of course, as I said earlier with respect to coffee break, once we're all outside, you can pin them against the wall and ask them anything you want.
My question is to Dr. Jacqueline Shah. During the acquisition process of Cold FX, did you have power to stop it, or you are helpless? How the system works?
So you're asking for a business process, the acquisition?
Yes. Did you have the power to stop it? To stop the acquisition?
Stop it, trying to. Yeah, because our company was a public company. So they started actually was a hostile takeover by a different company. So, and then, and the legal procedure and all kind of of course, I trying to block it. I don't want to sell. I don't want to think, but it's kind of a process. And, because it's publicly owned company, there's a lot of shareholders. So eventually we're going through the board, going through the process eventually. And and that's a lot of complicated lawyers involved, accountant involved in the management, the discussions with them. So I think we hold it up for a few months, and then we start to auction the company because you have to find the best bid. And eventually, Allian, they actually offer the best bid. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Yes.